Yo, my peoples, what's up? Welcome to the One Stop Co-op Shop. This is Jason, and today I have a playthrough of Etherfields for you. I'm going to be playing through one full dream and some other stuff too. So a couple of notes that are really important before we get started. What I've done is I've put the box on top of the board to indicate that I'm covering up spoilers. So I am going to pick up exactly where Barrett left off. He went through the tutorial and he opened up a bunch of stuff. I happen to have opened up pretty much all the same stuff, so I'm going to pick up exactly where he left off. So what I'm not going to do, I'm not going to explain basic rules like that Barrett did. Go check out that original video. I am also going to spoil the heck out of tutorial. So if you are spoiler averse, I mean, this is just not the video for you. So go ahead and check out what Barrett did. This is going to follow up exactly on what he did. He's going to continue his adventure on his channel, Meet Me at the Table. I wanted to do a playthrough here on this channel to show you things that were not shown in the tutorial. Second thing is that I'm going to play through an entire dream, or attempt to play through an entire dream. And, you know, the little slumbers, which are kind of mini adventures, and the other aspects of the game. So there will be full spoilers of that as well. So I wanted to make a huge thing about the fact that I'm not going to hold back in terms of story elements and everything. So I hope that is all clear. Go watch Barrett's video first if you haven't done so, or if you just want to check out the main core gameplay, then you're welcome to stay here. Visit us on Twitch, visit us on Discord. We have a Discord server. Go ahead and subscribe here on YouTube. Like the video. Check out our podcast, the OCOS podcast. We have a lot of content coming, and this is just another piece of content for you. So we're very, very happy to do it. All right, so let us get into some spoiler territory. All right, so let us commence with the spoiler-filled playthrough of Etherfields. But before I do that, I want to recap quickly how Barrett's adventure went. So the tutorial is going to unfold basically the same way. So I uncovered all these map tiles. So this was kind of in a deck, and then I, unfolded them one by one. And also, this was in the smaller deck. So they just like to kind of mess with things a little bit. You have to kind of orient them around there, something like that. I used the Specialist, who is the kind of gizmo character. Can't really get my camera to focus on him very well, but he is the gizmo character. Take my word for it. Unlocked one enemy. The enemy kind of like harried me and chased me around, but for the most part, I was able to kind of overcome him, run around, basically check out most of the area. I did not fall for this trap over here. This one says, for 6 influence, look into the dark rift. There was no way. You weren't going to pay me to do that. I know how these adventure games go. So then, went over all the areas, unlocked all the stuff that I needed to in order to begin to set myself up for the initial adventure. All right, so getting down to the middle of the board. Well, first of all, I should probably say that this is the old map tiles, the map cards in the first dream, chucked into the recycle pile, hopefully never to be seen again. So now I have some new elements, right? So throughout the adventure, I did acquire the 5 items, and I will be choosing 3 of these items at the beginning of my adventure when I really get started. I got 2 different dreams. One of them is Not Alone in the Dark, and the other is I'll Never Forget Those Sunshine Days. Sunshiny Day. So I have those 2 dreams, and I could choose which one I want to go to. They both have I believe, prerequisite 1, 2 keys. So that is what I'm going to seek in the dream catcher phase, or whatever it is, the bottom phase, the phase that plays out over here. Unlock some slumber cards. These kind of are like an event deck. It told me to take this off-color slumber card and put it on the bottom. You'll see why in just a minute. So I have to shuffle these up. There's only 3 of them in so far, but that will definitely change. There's a ton of them in the box. I also got these initial map a slumber map. So like when I do encounter a slumber encounter, so slumber is going to come out of this. And every once in a while, there's going to be like a minor encounter. It will take place on this map. So it has 2 starting, so I'm going to lay those out when the time is right. And then the game will tell me to lay these 2 out as I progress. Last thing over here, as I unlock the season deck, is kind of like establishes a global rule for what's going on. The first one, they give me a break. This season does not alter any game rules. It's kind of like a weather effect, an overall global effect that is going to be obtained. All right, more board stuff. There is a lot in this one. So I have my Fate deck. The Fate deck is going to come into play pretty soon. The Flaw deck, I hope, won't come into play very much. This is not a good thing. Those are cards that are going to go into my deck if I mess up in certain ways, or maybe the game will just tell me put bad cards in your deck. But this is where the game is going to really get started. So this was in Pot of Adventure 0-01 or I-01. This is the Dreamworld phase. So then I should probably go ahead and show that to you. So this is Metropolis over here, and this is Suburbia over there. Let us go ahead, shift over, and zoom in on that. So far as I can tell, this is almost like in a JRPG, you have your dungeon, you go on your adventures, but then you go into town. And you have like mini adventures. It's a little bit more laid back. It doesn't tax your resources just as much, but it's a part of the game to kind of build yourself, to figure out where you're going to go. Obviously, I have 2 paths that I can take. This is how I choose which path I'm going to go on. Either of these areas has these green circles. So the green circles are how I access the dream, and it's 1 zone per dream. So one of them I access through Suburbia, one of them I access through Metropolis. Okay, so then I'm going to take my figure. There is a figure for like collectively. So like in good JRPG fashion, when you enter a town, the party collapses into like 1 character. But I'm just going to use me. And then I'm going to put myself in what's called the Awakening spot. What is the Awakening spot? I'm glad you asked. All right, so more things that I unlocked. I unlocked these 2 cards, which are wisdom cards. So I'm going to fill this thing with all sorts of rules that are going to obtain in the game. These 2 cards govern the Dreamworld map. So the Dreamworld map is this kind of like, I call it the town. Just to distinguish it from the main action, which is the dungeon, quote unquote, the dreams. This tells you how the Dreamworld world works. You are generally going to be moving from space to space. I can go ahead and zoom in on that. You're moving from space to space, doing the things, pulling cards depending on where you land, and doing so, and so you're not spending a lot of resources. Like on the main map, you have to spend that cunning to move. Here you don't. You just have to just go there. Matter of fact, you don't play cards at all unless the card specifically says play the card in order to move around the dreamscape. So it will trigger according to what the Dreamworld map card says. The Fate deck, this is where I will start to pull Fate cards, and also the main area where I'm going to pull Slumber cards. So you can see blue, red, etc. What I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to, if I can tilt down over here, get to this key space. So when I get to that key space, I get a key. It happens automatically. I need 2. So because there are not any key spaces available to me on A2 or B2, except for that 1 space, I'm probably going to have to just go around. Unless one of the decks has a way to give me a key without having me having to do all that. But I have a feeling, nope, I'm stuck traveling around. All right, so for this last little bit of catch up before we get to the back to the main show, I went to my character. So I chose a specialist. So I like the play style of having just cards out, ongoing cards, and filling with them. So that was pretty cool. So this is a clean setup. At the end of the tutorial, he looked a little bit more like that. Wounds all over the place, and as a reminder, 8 wounds is death in this game. But I also had this going on. So I had a bunch of progress cards out. So he depends on progress cards in order to maximize his effectiveness. And his bottom card, his power here is unflip any Dreamer cards. So like you flip some of these cards in order to make effects, and then I can unflip them. So it kind of like manipulates things. So I was ready to like, you know what, figure it out. However, the game told me to incur an awakening. So here is the other card that I showed you, that other wisdom card. It's basically rules for resetting. So I discard all influence cards from my deck, my hand, and progress zones. I cure all my wounds and seal all my cards. Discard all my keys, so that's for future. And gems that I acquired in the adventure. Reshuffle the influence market, the slumber decks, so reshuffle basically everything. I can change my Dreamer if I wanted to, which I do not want to. But just in case I wanted to experiment, I can rebuild my influence deck, which I'll get to the influence deck in a second. I can choose my mask as an active mask. I restore 3 of the items. I discard the current active dreamscape, which is the big adventure, so to speak, and then place the team miniature on the awakening location on the Dreamworld map. So a couple of cards also spit out at me. When I went along, I did find my 2 masks. And the 2 masks are over here. I chose these. I chose Devotion and Calm because I'm a nice guy. And I get to choose one of these powers. The Calm power is anytime you can discard any number of cards from hand to gain 1 contact for each discarded card. Or Devotion, your hand size limit increases by 2. I'm going to go with Devotion, so that's going to be my active mask for the campaign for now. Another card I got is kind of a mission, so to speak. So I'm the specialist. If I have 4 of these types of progress cards placed, so that would be this guy. So I would need 4 of green progress cards laid out in front of me in order to trigger that, and I assume that I'll get the next mission and get a power or something like that. So I'm going to want to do that. First memories, that's the theme of it. I'm like remembering who I am. So I'm dinky right now, but apparently I was powerful before. So looking to get back to that. With that in mind, I did my influence action. So whenever you stop the game, you can spend whatever ether you got on a market action. So basically the game says, do a market action. Draw 3 cards, spend your ether. I spend my ether on these 2. So knowing that I had this thing coming up, I took this card so I could hopefully get that played. I run to live, discard X cards from hand to move X spaces, so kind of get out of giddy up type card. And also another copy of this. So I'm a little bit disappointed by that. They actually have copies of the basic cards in the market deck. Like, what do I want a basic card for? But it was 1. I had 3, so I just spent. I take that. They will disappear into my deck, and this will be my new deck. I got my deck. I got my mask. I got my goal that I'm trying to achieve. I'm ready to go. All right, so now that I'm ready to begin, let's check out my deck of my slumber deck. So I always have to put starting tiles out first. These 2 are not starting, so let's go check that out. We got some map on B2 and B3 right there. Okay, that is going to be where I have the slumber adventures, which are the little mini boss adventures before the main dream. So probably going to run into that. We'll see. All right, and so this is where we're going to spend the first part of the game. So I'm going to set my hours, or it's already set to 4 for a 1-player game. You get to see, actually, I have chairs over here. That's how much space the board takes up and how narrow my table is. But for the most part, I'm going to spend some time zoomed over here. When I reach for a fate deck, it's going to come over here, or reach from the fate deck. And when I reach from the slumber deck, it's going to come from over here. Okay, there is my specialist. And he is going to step over here for 1 and grab the fate deck. Little shop on the corner. Each dreamer may return one of their chosen influence cards to the influence market to gain a number of ether equal to its cost. All right. If any dreamer does this, remove this card from the game. But if you see return one of their chosen influence card to the market. So I just bought some cards, as you saw. I don't think I'm ready to do that yet, so I'm going to go ahead and discard this and just move on with my day. This might be good a little bit later. Besides, I kind of want this in the Fate deck because let it come up a couple of times. So it's, that's a good card in the Fate deck. Not all the cards in the Fate deck are good. Okay, so I move over here and I pull a Slumber. Whoop. What so creaky? If any dreamer has placed 3 progress or more, remove this Slumber from the game and add the secret tile 2380 to the bottom of the Slumber deck. Clearly, I have not placed any progress, as you saw before. Clean reset, clean awakening. This is more for when I go up to and actually have a Slumber encounter, get some progress cards down. Maybe I can progress this Slumber deck, but for now, nothing. Okay, move on down here. Another Fate. Darkness. Draw and place 1 Dreamscape Slumber tile. If there is a free quirk slot in the Dreamscape, place this card there. Okay, so first things first, I need to draw from the Slumber deck. That is the deck up there next to the turn deck. So I pull that, and I get this card. Okay, so a couple of things happen, and I'll go ahead and explain the quirk card slot. All right, so that's A2 up here, and A2 actually covers up A2 over there, so it goes like that. Okay. A quirk is basically a global rule. So the quirk is going to be over here, and they're going to change as more cards come out of the Fate deck. This particular one, anytime the turn deck shows morphing, each dreamer in a night space seals 1 card, which is it removes 1 card from their deck and not discarded, just kind of removed from the deck until it's unsealed. So that is kind of a global rule. Whenever I'm on like this area, so like this area, there's darkness over here. So if I'm here and the creature hits their morphing ability, this would happen. If I'm here, then obviously I'm good to go. All right, so I'm back to the Dreamscape area. Let us go over here. I get a key that is automatic. So let me go ahead and grab that. Boop. 1 key for the good guys. I hope I'm a good guy anyway. And then I draw from both decks. I draw from the Fate deck and the Slumber deck. Fate. Draw and place 1 Dreamscape Slumber tile. If there is a free quirk in the slot, place this card. Although there is no free quirk right now. Let's see if there's a quirk card. Of course there's a quirk card. So I place the last map card. I'm actually not going to show that because I've already demonstrated that. But basically what's going to happen is this card is going to go on the quirk slot. And this is all of these symbols are inactive. So these are symbols that are going to appear on the map. They are inactive for the rest of the round. I haven't seen these yet, so it doesn't really affect me too much. But next time I go up to the Slumber map, this will appear. Okay, so now I pull from the Slumber deck. Encounter. Wraith behind my back. So then I go up to the top board and I have an encounter. All right, so the board is set up like that. This is the card that I had placed earlier. C2, or what is it? C4 is on C4 over here. I have 2 global rules I have to keep in mind. This is my character. Character spawns on a blue space, either one. Do not want to be in darkness, so I'm going to start here. This doesn't quite look like a Wraith, but why not? This is the Wraith spawn space, so we're going to go here. All right, so let's check out the Wraith card over here. So what's going to happen is, so that anytime it hits the blue spot, it's going to add a morphing, which is a token, kind of a buff. And if I had any brightness tokens, it would discard them. Each dreamer at range 0 or in a midnight space suffers 1 wound on this area, so let me not be within range 0 of her, I guess. There you go. And in the red attack, which is a special effect, each dreamer in range 1 spends a gem or suffers 1 wound and seals 2 cards. Seals 2 cards is terrible. They're both terrible, but yeah, this is not a good effect. You definitely want to be out of here. Okay, so, like the beginning enemy, it's not too bad. Seems like it will only do stuff if I'm next to it, so I think what I want to do is I kind of want to power up first. I want to, since I'm the specialist, I want to try to get my progress cards out. I don't have any in my hand right now, so this is the opening hand that I drew. So I have Thoughtful Moment, 2 Influence or 1 Cunning. Seal this card to block any 1 step in the turn card. Seems to be a little bit useful. Inner Light. Place a brightness token. That this could come in pretty handy, so I'm going to hold on to that because this darkness card could get in my way, but if I place a brightness token, I discard the card. Okay, so don't plan on being in darkness anytime soon. So see what happens. 1 with shadows, 2 cunning or in darkness spaces. When I suffer wounds from any entity effect, roll the luck die to prevent it. Or the multi-use card. No progress cards. So if you remember, having progress cards is good for many reasons. I do not have any. So what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to do nothing. I have this mask over here. Your hand size is increased by 2. Normally my hand size would be 6, but with that mask, my hand size is 8. So what I can do is I can just end my turn right now, not do anything, just hang out, see if the Wraith comes to me. And then, if the Wraith comes to me, I have 8 cards in my hand. So I'm going to end my turn and draw 8 cards. All right, excellent. So I got 2 progress cards. 1, I run to live, discard X cards from hand to move X spaces, get out a jail card. This one, Mechanical Shotgun, discard a charge, and I can charge it up with other cards. From this card, I flip this card to gain +1. If I have other progress cards with that, like of that color, I would get more combat, and then I would increase my range, and then effort, more might. 2 ways to get more might. So then I have all these cards. And that is going to be the end of my, sorry about that, my turn. I have 8 cards. I'm actually hoping that the creature moves towards me so that I can get that going. All right, so let me go ahead and show you the turn deck. All right, so here's a turn deck. I just follow the steps. So the creature does its basic effect, its special effect, and it rolls. In this particular case, the basic effect and special effect, neither of them do anything because I'm not in range, which is part of the reason why I was content to do nothing. But then I roll, and the rolling is determines movement. Okay, so then I would just turn that face down and roll. Okay, actually, I want that. All right, so this means that the entity moves at a 2. So let me go ahead and reposition the entity. Okay, here we go. 1, 2. Entities in this game are pretty dumb. They just kind of run towards the nearest investigator. All right, so time for my second round. All right, time for my second round. Let me just go ahead and zoom this out a little bit so you can see my hand pretty clearly. Okay, so this is what I really want to do. I need 6 combat in order to deal with this thing. And I can generate the 6 combat off of this. So if I spend these 2 cards, right? I don't think I need to lay this one down right now. I mean, I think I'm okay. And I kind of want to just get through this a little bit. So I'm going to discard these 2 cards. That gives me 2 fight. And it would let me discard these 2 effort cards for 6 combat. Okay. So I've generated 6 combat. Why am I going to do that? I am going to use this one to Cunning to move 1. And if you recall, it says Assault 6. Assault you can do a range 1 attack. So then if I discard those effort cards, I had my 6. This thing goes kablamo. Fell into my trap. I actually wanted to lay down some progress cards, but I didn't get the ones that I wanted. So that works out fine. I know I spent 2 turn cards. However, what happens is I consult the current loot card, which says the team resolves 234M secret card Mystery Path with the lowest number or discards 1 quirk card from the Dreamscape. Let's explore the game. Let's resolve 234M secret card. So I have reached into the giant pile of cards and I've gotten a Mystery Path Step 1. First Mystery Path. You follow a strange path. It is not known where it leads you. You get 1 ether. Remove this card from the game. Okay. There are multiple 234M cards, so I guess the more you do this, the more you will get stuff, and hopefully I won't pay for it continuing to progress. So I do get 1 ether. All right, here is my specialist, and here is his 1 ether. So let us move on. We have like, oh my goodness, what was that? I got an ether out of it, at least. That wasn't so bad. So move over here. This is a train station. I imagine they enable all sorts of shortcuts and that kind of thing, but I don't have access to the train station right now. So keep on going. Hit the slumber deck again. Okay. You can hear everything. If any dreamer, you can hear it closer and closer. If any dreamer has placed 4 progress cards or more, remove the slumber tile from the game and add secret tile 238P to the bottom of the slumber deck. Another card that requires me to place progress, which means that it's just going to keep on cycling and cycling. I'm going to get these. These are going to be empty turns until I hit my 4 progress cards, which probably won't happen until I hit a main dream. So let's be patient for that. Okay. So I keep on going. Round and round she goes. All right. So I am at a shop. At a shop, I can use one of my item cards that I acquired in the tutorial adventure. Okay, so at the shopping card, obviously, there you go, shopping. I acquired that during the tutorial, like I said. You may use this card if you are at a shopping location on Dreamworld map, which I am. Each streamer may buy influence cards. If you choose this, but you decide not to buy any cards, gain 1. The rule says in order to buy influence cards, you draw 3, and you can buy as many as you have ether to spend. Or draw one random item from the market, and I could buy it for 2. I don't want to do either of these. So each streamer may. I don't have to take advantage of this, but it isn't bad. So after I do that, return the shopping cart to the secrets, not remove it from the game, move it to the secrets. So I might get it back. So I'm not going to buy anything. I'm not going to pull anything. I'm not going to bother. So I'm just going to gain the 1 shiny gem. You will see that on my player board when I go back to my player board. Okay, time to keep moving. Move over here. Now at this point, if I had 2 gems, I'd be able to move on to the dream that is connected to Suburbia, but alas, I do not. So I have to make round and round she goes. Where she stops, right there. I know exactly where I'm going. Okay, so I get to pull from the Fate deck and a Slumber encounter. Fate. Okay, Passage. If each dreamer seals 1 card, relocate the team to the chosen location on the Dreamworld map tile, or I may reshuffle the Fate deck. That's cool. I don't love that I'm sealing 1 card, but you can unseal cards. Yeah, they come up. Opportunities come up. I think if you defeat a dream or you get some other effect, you can unseal cards. And it would spare me 1, 2, 3 encounters, 2 encounters with the Slumber deck and 2 encounters with the Fate deck. I am going to take advantage of that. I am going to seal a card. The card that I will seal is Inner Light. So I'm going to remove that from my deck for now. And I'm going to appear at this spot and do what it says. Okay. All right, so I get my second key. There we go. I now have my 2 keys. I pull 1 from the Fate deck. Hey, my old friend, Little Shop in the Corner. Not going to do it, but it's a nice break of a turn. And the Slumber deck. So this is the card that goes in the bottom. And it's kind of a little bit of a refresh card. Delta Phase. Each dreamer may choose one option. Cure all their wounds. Unseal all their cards. Look at that. Reshuffle the influence cards. Restore their mask. All sorts of stuff. I only have one thing that I can do, which is unseal all my cards. Sweet. Reset hours. The hours is over there. If I'm 1 player, I'm going to reset it to 5. I should have had it at 5 the entire time, actually. Sorry about that. Okay. Shuffle the Slumber deck and place the Delta Tile phase in the bottom. So I do have cards in my deck that let me kind of buff up this Delta phase. So then, kind of cycle in. But I now have my 2 keys. And I'm going to choose to do this one. I have to walk to the Dream Portal, which isn't a terrible walk. And I did unseal the card, so I'm okay. So it's a District Suburbia, enter 2 keys. So I'm going to go to Not Alone in the Dark. Nothing bad happens in a closed market at night, right? I'll find new ways of cooperation along with many useful items. I like items. So I'm going to go to the setup once I get to the space. Okay. So I go over here. Train station doesn't do anything. I reshuffle the 3 slumber cards that I have. Hopefully I do not pull a encounter. Nope, not an encounter. Place 4 progress. Nope. Not doing that. Oh, did I knock him off? Look at that. Same thing, shopping. I'm not going to do it. And now I go to the portal. I spend my 2 keys. And I go have an adventure. All right. Here we are at the lady. Not Alone in the Dark. Setup. Now each dreamer may cure 2 wounds or unseal the top 2 cards. If I had encountered the Wraith and that had that gone worse, or encountered the Wraith again, had it gone worse, I would be doing that, but I don't have to worry about that. Take all IO2 secret cards and tiles. This is a boatload of stuff. So this is the cards. Gonna get some items, maybe some map elements, another wisdom card, another fate card, another flaw card. So lots of stuff to uncover there. Here are my map tiles. Okay. All right. It says reveal both setup tiles. It is a map and I'm all in the dark. Woohoo! Look at that. So I am going to go to A1 all the way up here and A2 all the way up there. I'm pretty sure I'll zoom in there when I am ready. Okay. More setup. Place the Z tile face down on Z1 on C1. Do not look at the front. Okay. So C1 is down here. So go ahead and move the camera over there. There's C1. So see if I can access that at some point. Reveal card A. This card is active until the dream ends. Searching in the dark. Resolve the magnifying glass grip in the space. So then I would spend these resources, and there's all sorts of magnifying glasses, as you can see, in the storybook. Okay. So it's kind of a meta rule, and I'm going to be setting that up somewhere where I can access this stuff. Reveal card E, and put it on the entity slot. Okay. Ooh, something in the dark. Place this card in the entity slot. Okay, so this is... yeah, so I guess it's a buff to the entity. Or maybe there's no entity, and this is just kind of a global entity. And I have to roll every single time. So looks like morphing. Each player places one purple on one adjacent space. Each basic action. Each dreamer in a space with purple seals 2 cards. Each dreamer in a range 1 from any purple space suffers 1 wound as the special. I think the purples are not anything special. It's just kind of a catch-all token. And you just follow the card. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in the entity slot. Okay. Prepare all 4 cards B. They represent a pool of items. Okay, so more items that I can discover, and that is going to be also kind of nearby the entity slot. Okay. 12, which is exactly how many cards are normally in the turn deck anyway, and then we can read a story. S890. A week has gone by since we passed through the rift. Nights last much longer than days here. The thick fog obscures everything. The city is huge like an endless maze. Nothing here is ordinary. We stay in bizarre hotels. Nobody asks for payment, that's a plus. The second is that we don't have to sleep at all, so we don't waste time on it. There's probably no hunger here either. On the other hand, there are some issues. Sometimes our legs refuse to obey, as if they're made of rubber. We lose our voice. Or our things vanish into thin air. We leave a room. We come back and it's different. Additional doors appear, and we see new buildings outside the window. People we meet sometimes change into something else within a blink of an eye. What's even more strange, they occasionally transform into someone we have always known, but don't remember who exactly they are. It's like a powerful deja vu. A double-decker taxi stops next to the old closed market with a sign. Everything, but nothing for free. We are here, so that means we're implementing the find someone who can know what's going on option. It's certain, this certain someone disappeared a few days ago in this place, when they were purchasing the goods they traded. The taxi driver thanks us and drives away without charge. We wonder why the driver spends days chauffeuring lost souls around. Another loser. That was a few hours ago. Now we are inside and looking around trying to pick out any detail from the impenetrable darkness. Whenever you run out of block tokens during this stream, and you have to place one, take the block token from the furthest night space from your dreamer. Alright, so this area over here on the top of the board is kind of like my personal resources area. It's where I'm going to put the cards that I was told to set aside. The global rule with searching in the dark, the items that I could find along the adventure, and the rest of the secrets deck, which will populate the adventure. Alright, so that's let me show you the rest of what I have set up over here. Here is the quote-unquote enemy and the enemy space. Turn deck, nice and shuffled, 12 cards. And these items, so these are the items that I've chosen. I had 5 to choose from, like there. So then could have chosen strategic plan. Each dreamer may move it to 6 spaces or use it for the resource. Could have also chosen spring perfumes, discard a contact, or during a contact action, I can discard this for an extra 6 contact. Those are all good. Items are just good. But this is what I went for, and here is my reasoning. So first of all, journal. Each dreamer may seal 1 card to unflip all their cards to reshuffle their deck. I plan on getting a lot of progress cards out, and sometimes you have to flip the progress cards. So wanted to get an unflip there. The Book of Birds. Each year may place 1 progress card. Bam. So that's a free using progress without using other resources. And Little Helpers will combo with that. Reroll any die or discard this item to restore 1 item. There you go. So I'm hoping to use these 2 cards to get at least 2 progress items out. 1 because he's good with items, and 2 because the Slumber deck had some progress requirements to have certain progress cards out. So want to make some progress there. All right. So we are ready to begin the adventure Not Alone in the Dark. So I take my Intrepid Specialist, I put him there. One thing I forgot to do is I forgot to turn over and discover the goal Other scenario, the goal is find and free the Dreammonger. Hint, it would be wise to make notes and draw a map. I doubt I'm going to do that. I'm just going to go with the old noggin and see what happens. Special rules, at any time I can assault 5 to discard 1 purple token. And then the game will probably make fun of me if I run out of turns. It's what happened in the tutorial anyway. When the slumber ended, that mini encounter, I had 3 cards left in my hand. I believe these were the 3 cards. If they weren't, then let me know. I don't think it makes too much of a difference. But just as a reminder, I have Thoughtful Moment. Seal this card to block any 1 step on the turn. Not too afraid of that. A Progress card. Discard X cards from hand and move X spaces. That might come in handy. And it is a Progress card, so I'm going to look to play that. So many possibilities, one of anything. All right, so I have some options over here. I started here. I could start either of these places, but this place has a thing already. But thinking about it, well, actually, this is all in darkness. This is not a good thing. And I don't have my card that lights things up, so whatever. I don't know if I'm going to use this one. I think this one does. I sniff a trap. This one's too easy. So I'm going to use my So Many Possibilities to move 1. And I'm going to, according to the global rule, which says I can discard 2 Cunning or 2 Contact to resolve a script, I am going to discard Thoughtful Moment for the Progress and read S563. We see strange figures lurking in the shadows. One of them moves. We see eyes like 2 black holes. We feel its gaze. If this is a midnight space or darkness space, place 1 purple token in there. Do you know the feeling of a weird fear creeping up your spine when the clothes tossed on a chair turn into an apparition in the night? It's more than a simple illusion. Trust me. Darkness is like the edge between 2 worlds. The world you want to be in and the other you want to avoid at all costs. But only a single ray of light turns everything back to normal. Reveal card F. All right, card F is... Unfortunately, they're just mannequins. While this card is active, any purple in a space that is not in darkness is immediately discarded. So if I light up a space, I would be able to get rid of the purples. Do not have my light card with me, but that is a global rule until the dream ends. Good. All right, so that is used. And for that, I can use... I believe I can put a block token there indicating that I have read that clue. I don't exactly know if that is the rule, but we're just going to go with that. Okay, I have 1 card left. I'm going to draw 4. Okay. Here are my 4 cards. Okay, slap. Any ones you remember, re-roll. That's okay. Good, useful for some fight. Ooh, progress. Ooh, this is the good one too. Assistant. Whenever you place a progress card, I can spend 1 gem or flip the assistant instead of paying the placings, the normal cost of placing. That's excellent. That'll really help me get out cards. I use this in a tutorial a lot. Builder. That's a good one. Limit of your active progress cards is increased by 2. Each time after reshuffling your influence deck, you may discard the top 3 cards to place 1 charge on my shotgun or steam bomb or gain 1. Shiny gem, pretty good. Another effort card. You're familiar with the effort card. I used a couple of those in the slumber. That's nice. Let's go ahead and do the enemy turn. Oh, wait a minute. Boop. That might matter. Before I go over to the enemy deck, I just want to show you my player area. Got my deck, discard pile. I have 1 ether and 1 gem already. And then I have this card. Come on, focus. If you have 4 progress cards placed, resolve a card. So I am definitely going to want to try to aim for that too. Okay, let me go ahead and resolve this guy over here. I'm not going to roll, but the basic effect and then the morphing, neither of which I like. Well, the morphing is not bad, but the basic effect is bad. Each dreamer in a space with purple seals 2 cards. Oh, that's me. And each dreamer places 1 morphing or 1 purple token on an adjacent space. So a darkness spreads. So let's go ahead and resolve that. So then first thing I do is, because I had to seal 2 cards, I take these 2 cards. I don't think I look at them, but I can put them over here, and then I could put my mask on them. Out of the game for now. Okay, so the next thing that I do is I take a purple, and I think that this is a trap. I don't know if it's a trap or not, but I'm just going to place the purple there anyway. So that is the enemy turn, quote unquote, or the dream turn. Now I get to go again. So now I at least want to move my character over here. Or maybe I want to go to the top. I have a feeling that things at the top, just because it's a little bit more inconvenient to the bottom of the board, this might be a little bit more, have what I want. But I have lots of cards and I have lots of progress to place. So let's try to do a couple of things here. All right, back to my character we are. To do the first part of my turn. Got my progress. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to play the assistant. Place this card for 4. This is the one that lets me use my gems to place things. So I'm going to place that over here. It's going to be a good thing. And because resources are important, I'm going to discard my Book of Birds. Each dreamer may place 1 progress card from their hand for free. Discarded. So that is gone. And then I'm going to use my little helpers to discard this item to restore 1 item, which will be this guy. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the Book of Birds again on the builder. So then this one increases my active progress card by 2 each time after reshuffling the influence deck. I can discard a top 3 cards and place a charge on my shotgun. Okay. So 2 for the price of 1, basically. And I can use gems now to place progress cards. I do have another progress card, and it is green, but I'm going to hold on to that one for now because I think I want to use it to search around a little bit. All right, so I have 3 cards left. Going to use this cunning to get out of dodge a little bit. Go over here. Kind of wanted to go up to the top, but I only had the 1. So that leaves me with these 2 cards left. But I think instead of, looking another one, I have I already got burned once. place a darkness token next to, or a purple token next to my space. And I don't have any other movement, so I think I'm going to discretion is the better part of valor. It doesn't matter. I can just use that again next turn. So I'm going to draw my 4 cards. First card is Hesitation, a basic card. I can seal to get a bunch of items. I think everybody has that. Portable Ladder. Ooh. Place a ladder in your space. Enter the dark room. Set the 235B tile next to the board and place your dreamer in any space there. That's interesting, but I'm probably just going to use it for progress. That's the thing about this game. They give you all these cool, tantalizing cards, but you end up trying to use them for your resources. A slap card. We've seen that before. And Steam Bomb. There you go. Another progress card. Discard this card to gain 5 combat. Going to definitely hold on to that. All right, let us get to the enemy turn. All right, so I trigger the effect. So basic effect, a special effect, then basic effect. I'll discard that. So then special effect, each dreamer from in range of any darkness suffers a wound, which is me. Then each dreamer in a darkness space, which is it's all dark at this point, puts a darkness in their space. I need to skedaddle and get a move on. So not sure where I'm going, but I do need to just move. And also, the basic effect. Wait a minute. Sorry about that. Yep, the basic effect. I managed to avoid the basic effect. You know, I have a feeling that I'll find out in a minute, but I have a feeling that I did well to avoid that. All right, so yet another purple in the space, and when I go to the player board again, you will see the one wound that I suffered during that particular interaction. Okay. All right, so I have my 5 cards. I have a feeling that I'm going to want to use this one for the cunning. And I don't need to place every single progress card now. I do have 6 cards. Nice. So I'm going to use this progress card to read S107. Something lurks in the darkness. Such monstrous silhouettes. If this is a darkness space, place 1 purple tile, and that's it. Maximum 1 per space and nothing happens. But I would have gotten bitten had I done that before. So sometimes not going and saving the card for the next turn is a better part of valor. Okay, so I'm going to use hesitation for the cunning. I'm going to move over. Let me move up and see what happens with up. I wanted to move up before. And then I'm going to, unfortunately, sorry, peoples, play your own game if you want to find out what the pocket ladder does. I'm using this for the resource, and I'm going to see what S616 gives me. We saw this box from afar. It's as pristine as a freshly unearthed sarcophagus. Let's see what's inside. Look at the pool of items and then gain 1 of them. Then place a block token on this map action. Something, or what's worse, someone's right next to it. We saw a movement. The ghostly figure is slowly approaching with a crooked step. If this is a darkness space, which it all is, place 1 purple space in the purple in the space, maximum 1. All right, so the item that I got is the warehouse. Roll the luck die. Return a random item to the storage. From the storage to the item market, discard this item. Restore 1 item. So I got a 1 in 6 chance of, a 1 in 3 chance of doing something good. 2 in 3, 1 in 2 chance of doing something good. 1 in 3 chance of nothing happening, and then 1 in 6 chance of something terrible happening. I kind of like it. Yeah, why not? I kind of like it. However, I'd have to spend 5 influence to use it. I don't know if I want to do that, but so item, just in case I get desperate, I have it. I have these cards left, and I only have 1 way to move. It did put a darkness token here. I should put that there. And as I've learned in this game, you need to not be on the. You need to absolutely not be near darkness if you can help it. So I am going to use this progress card, as much as it makes me sad to discard Steam Bomb, to move over here. I don't know. I just feel like, if you kind of look at the board orientation, more cards are this way. Although there might be a card that takes me that way. I'll just go there. It doesn't get me away from being adjacent to the darkness, so it doesn't really matter to me. All right. So I'm left with 2 slaps. Again, I'm going to save them for next turn. So I'm just going to draw another hurry or a hurry. This one's not terrible. Okay, pretty good. Hurry. And hesitation. So lots of movement this turn. And I only have 1 card left in my deck. So I'm going to want to be very careful of that. All right. So here is the card. We get the morphing and the basic effect. 2 basic effects next turn. So that's actually pretty easy to avoid. So I managed to avoid the basic effect this turn. I am not in a space with a purple, but each streamer places 1 purple on 1 adjacent space. All right, so we are back. I have my hand of cards, and one thing that I did not mention, and I've been playing this wrong in the playthrough. I'll probably put a note in the video that I should have been drawing cards not at the end of my turn, but at the beginning of my next turn. Doesn't really matter, but I just wanted to play the game right to give you guys what is up. So those are my cards. I have a bunch of basic cards. So I think I ran through all of my specialist cards. You saw the progress cards here. So what I'm going to do is discard these 2 slap cards for the 2 progress and read S286. We swerve between piles of fetid trash. Don't touch anything, we all pray in our minds. If this is a darkness space, resolve all 3 effects. Ugh, there's so much rubbish here, disgusting. Seal 2 cards. Damn it, this is the broken glass again. Spend 2 assault or suffer 1 wound. Or a clawed paw emerge from the darkness, reaching towards us. Another purple thing. Then we notice something else. It seems we found an escalator leading down. Woohoo! The stairs must have moved once, but now they are still. We hear a howling from below. Reveal both tiles X, reveal card C, and if I'm not playing alone, read card G, but I am playing alone, so I will not read card G. So as a reminder, this is what I'm working with currently. Got 1 wound, 1 ether, and 1 gem, and these aren't too useful to me right now. Said seal 2 cards. I only have 1 card, and I think it's just I don't like reshuffle and seal another card. The draw phase specifically says, like there is a phase that has me draw this and do a bunch of stuff. So I'm just going to go ahead with that and seal the 1 card. Comments below, tell me if I'm wrong in that. Okay. So got that going on. And then I could spend 2 combat to avoid 1 wound, and I think I want to do that. So I can spend these 2 combat. There's the combat right there, and I'm going to go ahead and discard that. I'm gonna take a wound probably, to reshuffle, so I don't want to spend too much or gain too many wounds. So that's not the worst thing in the world. All right, so another thing that happened, this guy is actually in this space. Map got a lot wider. I added these 2 tiles over here, which are 2 more map tiles. I'll go ahead and close up on that in a minute. But I also got this card, which is C, a map adjustment, and I could spend 3 cunning to relocate. So I put that snazzy card right here, continuing to manipulate, use cards to manipulate space, and I am now there. Okay, so let us keep going by discarding these 2 cards for their cunning and ending up over here. The reason I did that was to get away from the these haunting spaces, or whatever you want to call these purple tokens. So that's the end of my round. Let's go check out the turn deck. All right, so this one is very, very easy. Basic effect, nothing happens. I have to be on the space in order to have to seal cards. I am not. So 1 red effect will hit me next turn. And if you recall, red effects, if I'm range 1 away from a darkness space, I get damage. We'll see if I can mitigate that. Okay. Here is my character. I am going to take a wound. So I have the choice of either taking a wound or sealing 2 cards or 3 cards out of this deck. I don't want to seal my progress card. So I have plenty of space for wounds. I have a maximum. If I take an 8th wound, then I would die. I'm pretty okay there. Okay, so I'm just going to reshuffle and draw my hand of 4 cards. All right, so there I am on the staircase space. Lots of areas to explore. Another card full of areas to explore. So we'll see what happens there. I'm going to draw my 4 cards. I have Hurry, Hurry. Another Hurry, Hurry. Both of them seal this card and discard any active item. So that's pretty cool. One with shadows. When you suffer wounds from any entity effect, I can prevent it. That's pretty good. And Inner Light. Ooh. Place 1 light token in any space. It is active until the end of this turn. I may just do that just to save myself a little bit of hassle. Although maybe not now. Maybe not now. Okay. All right, so I'm actually going to make this a pretty simple turn. I think I'm flying through this relatively quickly. And I think I'm not going to just like spend a whole bunch of time exploring a bunch of these things. I think I'm getting the hint that most of them are darkness. So I'll just kind of progress and go from there. So I'm going to spend my 1 hurry to move 2 spaces to go down there. I am still in darkness, but I would spend this, but I want to wait. I might need to dispel some darkness. My other option is if I really wanted to, I could spend an item for its effect. I don't think it's worth spending 5 influence. I don't have a deck with a lot of influence to just kind of get a random roll. So this is probably just like 2 influences waiting to happen. But I don't have to do it this turn. I am not next to any darkness whatsoever, so I'm just gonna chill and let the turn deck flow for the next turn. All right, so this is why I did that. So the special effect in this one is fairly nasty. Range 1 is a pretty big area for such a constrained space, so I did not want to trigger any purple. So I'm just gonna let this card do its thing and keep on going. The thing that lets me go a little bit slower is I have the mask that increases my hand size. So normally I ended a turn with 3 cards, and I would only be able to draw 3 more, but with the for a maximum hand size of 6. But because I have the increased hand size, I can draw my full complement of 4, have 7 cards, and be a little bit more powerful to be able to progress faster and more safely, which I like. I am a safe explorer. All right, so let us draw those 4 cards. Okay, thoughtful moment. Let's see. Seal this card to block it in 1 step. That's going to be 2 progress probably. Effort, we know what that's all about. Hesitation, we know what that one's all about. Seal this one to gain some extra resources if I want to. And the 4th card is Run to Live. I do need to lay down progress cards. I may actually just get this one laid down. So, all right, so first things first, I'm going to use the assistance power. When you place a progress card, I could spend 1 gem or flip the assistant instead of paying the card's cost. I have a gem. I'm going to use it, and I am going to place the progress card. I Run to Live, so I have that in my back pocket. Remember, the goal of the scenario is to find a certain character, and there is a map piece marked exit, so I have a feeling that I'm going to have to make a run for it when I find this character. Just kind of putting 2 and 2 together from what the dream is presenting me. So I think having a progress card that lets me run easily will benefit me. And also I have another progress card, which is nice to have. All right, now that I've placed I Run to Live, let's go search some more. I'm going to use this thoughtful moment, which aka 2 progress, to investigate number 850, S850. We haven't searched this box yet. It looks interesting. Look at the pool of items and gain 1 of them. Sweet. And place a block token in that map action. When we kneel bent over the box, something moves in the gap of the fractured floor. I could swear some long twisted hands emerge from the hole. If this is a darkness space, of course it is. Place 1 bad thing on the space. So yet another, keep on calling them darkness tokens. Purple token. And, ooh, the key to everything. Discard this item to gain 1 key for 3. Or return this item to the market to gain 3 keys. What? Oh my god. That skips a lot of grind. I'll tell you that right now. Wow. We may just have to do that or have that in our back pockets. That is I can only imagine not getting that item and having to grind through some things. That is pretty amazing. Very cool. All right, so I have this left. A lot of cunning. A lot of cunning. I can move. All right, so a couple of things that I have to consider. One is I do have 2 skill. I can also use 2 cunning in order to search. So I may just want to search S722 with this cunning that I have. And I do have other options to be able to kind of like skedaddle out of there. Just in case. Let's do that. So let's do hesitation, which will move me 1. And let's use 1 with shadows. Would block a wound, but I'm feeling pretty good about the status of my wound. It's not like there's an entity out there, a real entity that is affecting me. So I'm going to use that, and I'm going to read S772. Let's check it out. The room ends here. A torso emerges from the darkness, reaching for us with its gnarled arms. If this is a darkness space, place 1 purple. There's a door! Reveal card D and tile Y. Note that tile Y is placed on the Dream skateboard in an unusual way. Look carefully at the grid. Alright, so I'm going to take a slightly wider angle so I can place these cards. There's card Y. And it is a labyrinth. Ooh, oh man, lots of options. Lots of different places to go. We shall see. So that would normally be in kind of a no man's land spot. However, we did get card D, which is a map card, which just like the previous one, this guy over here that actually should be here. Sorry about that. This one also is oriented to C4. Actually, I should show you what it says. For 4 skill, after hours of aimless wandering, relocate your dreamer to the C3 spawn space, which would be here. Okay, so making progress over here. All these unsearched areas, but there may be more items there and maybe some other unlocks there, but I am not willing to suffer through all sorts of what could possibly happen. I do not want to be here, right? So I look at my current turn, and it says that for a basic effect, I'm going to get hit with at least 1 basic effect, which is CO2 cards, which I do not want. And there's no darkness here, which is a good thing. And I don't know if there's generating darkness over there, but the fact that there is no darkness there is leading me to think that I can safely discard this, quote unquote safely. And also going to discard this warehouse card. Get out of here. For 4 progress, so that item card goes away. And the 4 progress lets me relocate right there. Here I am in the labyrinth. Lots of places to go, lots of doors. And I have 2 cards left, but I think I'm going to save those for next turn because I feel like I'm pretty safe right there, at least for this 1 turn action. Okay, so I got my turn card over here. I got the blue morphing and the basic effect. So then the blue morphing places 1 darkness on an adjacent space, so let me go ahead and take care of that. And also, if I was in a space, I'd have to seal 2 cards, but I intentionally used some items and got out of dodge to avoid that effect. All right, I'm going to place the token. Oh, it's in an adjacent space. Sorry about that. So now I have a decision to make. Do I want to go this way or that way? Yeah, I don't really have a lot of information. I think like the game wants you to stare at the existing cards and try to make a decision off of that. So I'm not the most observant person. I'm just gonna go with kind of cliche and say that wooden doors are bad. Wooden doors are always bad. Put the darkness there and actually head up that way. All right, so I has 2 cards. This effort to get some strength, and also lots of cunning to move. So that's good. Let's see what I get. Okay, hesitation. So, seen that card before. I've seen all these cards before. Ooh, ye old pocket ladder. Sorry, that is going to open up a space. A progress card. I may just want to lay that one down. That would be cool. And then slap. Okay. So now I have my full complement of 6 cards. Well, let's just take care of this first. So let's go. We're going to do some effort. For the cunning, we're going to go down here. And let's try the yellow door. Yellow is my favorite color. So bye-bye, pocket ladder. See that pocket ladder? Who cares about all that other text? It's worth 2 interaction. So we are going to read S653. Yellow door. Do we really want to go in there? Look at the whole dreamscape and think first where it can possibly lead. What do these colors mean? If you're sure you want to go in, S279. If you don't want to, just don't do it. The game is giving us a massive hint. So let's go check the entire dreamscape and see what's going on. All right, so I am checking A4 right now. If you can see, there is a green space over here, and there's also some green on the card, so I definitely want to take note of that. Here is the original spawn point. I spawned right here. Lots of darkness, as you can see. Look at that. Exit. Yellow door. I have a feeling, and this would be so painful if I ended up over here, that the game is screaming at me, do not go in the yellow door. So that is exactly what I am not going to do. I'm not going to go in the yellow door. Let's try something else. All right, so I have plenty of cards left to move, especially I have cunning. So let's push the issue over here. I'm going to take hesitation, and I'm going to use the 1 combat, or the 1 assault, or whatever it's called, to open this door, S460. What do these colors mean? We open the red trap door. This is some kind of room below. It looks like a warehouse. We spot a figure sitting on the corner. Booyah! And we know we've reached the destination. We jump down. Reveal tile Z. Place your dreamer in the space on the C1 tile. Reveal card I and spawn the masked man token in the only space without any action on the C1 tile. It is a dreammonger chained to a wall. Place a block token next to him. Sweet. All right. So here is that dreammonger card. There you go. And I have laid out card C1 over here, and here am I, and here is the masked man. So, once again, I have 3 cards left. I could, you know what? Well, I'm definitely going to use this one because that seems to be action economy friendly over here to move. Okay. I could place this guy, this progress card, the Steam Bomb, would give me a 1-shot of 5 combat, which in this room I have like some boxes that I could open. Now that I've made it this far, maybe it gives me good stuff, or maybe it's just like another nightmare that crawls out and wants to strangle my throat. Well, we're back up to the specialist. The assistant's power is I could flip the assistant to play Steam Bomb for free. So let's go ahead and get that done. Okay, so now I got 4 progress. So when I go back to the Dreamscape, I have 4 progress cards laid out, and I'll be able to kind of open up some new slumber tiles. I have Steam Bomb in my hand right now, and I could use it to gain 5 might if I wanted to. So it gives me a little bit of flexibility what I want to do. All right, so I'm managing this pretty effectively. So neither of these powers will actually do anything, I don't think. So the basic effect is if you are in a purple space, seal 2 cards, and then the red action Just to refresh, each dreamer in range 1 suffers a wound. I'm not. Then each dreamer in a darkness space places 1 purple, which I am not. For some reason, the dungeon is lit. Everything else is unlit, but the dungeon is lit, which is kind of backwards. Usually don't like to keep the prisoner in darkness, but what are you going to do? It's a dream. Now let me go ahead and draw some cards. Another slap. That's nice to have the extra assault. So many possibilities. Sure, why not? Sure, why not? And an effort, which is more might. I think the game is telling me to open one of these crates. I have only 3 cards left, so I'm going to be reshuffling again, but my wound situation is excellent. Haven't taken a lot of wounds, so I think I'm good taking another wound. I'll be at 3 out of 8, so that's pretty good. I might have to rest up a little bit, but I think I'm in decent shape. All right, so... But first things first, I have to rescue the Dreammonger. I have to do that and spend 3 might. Okay, so I am going to spend this one for 1 might into effort, which is 3 might, and put in a little bit of elbow grease. The block token is gone. The shackles are free, and now I have the token. This masked man is going to indicate the dreamer. So now I have to get him out. As the card says, when the Dreammonger is in the exit space in the A1 tile S200. Let's test my theory out, shall we? That is pretty cool. Do you guys remember what theory I'm talking about? I hope you do. So I have 5 combat left. That is not a ton. That is not a ton. And I'm going to reshuffle. But I do have some turns. And there isn't any darkness in this space. And there won't be darkness in this space. Or purple tokens because there's no darkness here. So I can wait a little bit. And be patient. And I'm drawing up to 4 because I have an increased hand size. Man, that's really coming in handy in terms of creating flexibility for my turns. That is pretty nice. So I'm going to pass turn. All right. So, not terrible, because I know I'm headed out of here this turn. So it's morphing and a special effect. So, morphing is each streamer places 1 purple token on an adjacent space. No, that's not a problem at all. And also the basic effect, I'm immune from that. And then next turn, well, I have 3 cards left, so I can't dally too much. But I think I'm in good shape. Let's check it out. All right, let's draw some cards. Another effort. Oh, yeah, I'm definitely going to use that. A bunch of basic cards. I think I've gone through, except for this guy, my mechanical shotgun. I could lay him down fairly easily. Actually, no, I already flipped my assistant. I don't have another gem, so I cannot lay him down very easy. Oh, well, I have to draw another card, so I have to take another damage, which next time you see my player board, you'll see that. That was a camera cut. I have shuffled, and I have drawn so many possibilities. My deck is pretty thin at this point. I'm going to be flying through this thing pretty fast, although I think I'm done here now that I've found the masked man. All right, so I'm going to use these 2, so that is 2 for strength, or assault, or whatever it's called in the game. Discard that over there, and then I'm going to spend my mechanical shotgun, poor mechanical shotgun, to proc this effort, gain 3. That is a little bit of overkill, but I wanted to keep these cards for the cunning. I have 3 of these because I do want to get moving. And I'm going to break that guy, which is S645. What we found in the boxes is hard to describe in words, but we will not forget it for a long time. It was so beautiful. Each dreamer gains an ether. Booyah! And I should have been putting block tokens the entire time. I don't think it matters too much. But yeah, I'll put a block token there. But I get an ether. Yeah! Alright, so I got myself an ether. Next time you see the player board, you'll see 3 wounds and 2 ether on there. All right, let us empty the holster. 3 cunning equals 3 move. Okay, 1, 2, and it says here, 1 cunning, relocate to the spawn space on the C3 tile. So here I am. So I have a choice here now. What I could do is I could kind of like make a break for it. So this one would say, you know, I basically kind of go back the way I came. I'd go down here and kind of do a loop-de-loop. And I do have that progress card that lets me just discard cards to move, which is an excellent card to have. However, I am feeling pretty confident that this is the exit right here. So next turn, I'm going to try to make that happen. This could go completely wrong, people. But why not? Let's have a little bit of fun. I don't think it cost me too much to check that. All right, something I forgot to do last turn was place the darkness in the dungeon, or for the purple token. I keep on saying darkness. It's the purple token in the dungeon, but I'm not going back to the dungeon, so that's okay. I can handle that. The basic effect here has no effect, but the morphing does make me place a darkness token. I will place that one, just in case. All right, so here I am with the masked man. About to draw a fresh set of cards. I have none right now. I also have this thing, effort, lose X hours to move X spaces. So I have that in my back pocket as well, in case I need to really book it. So this gives me a lot of confidence that I can try the yellow door if I need to, because I have a lot of movement in my back pocket. I think this is really hilarious. I also can use that the hours to kind of get more turns. That seems powerful, but that means you're flying through your deck faster, which means more wounds and more just kind of bad stuff happening. So I think I'm going to try to avoid that as much as I can. All right, so let's pull some cards. Okay, I got some effort there as a cunning to move. Okay, more effort, more cunning to move. Portable ladder, no, pocket ladder. No, people, I will not show you. Play the game yourself. And hesitation. So 3 cunning. That's actually pretty good. So let us go. I'm just going to use that cunning right there to move down. And let's see what happens. S653 using this cunning. Okay, if you recall, it says if you're sure you want to go in, S279. If you don't, just don't do it. We're doing it. S279. And nothing terrible happened. We're in the next room. It's kind of familiar. Wait, this is... Yeah! Place your dreamer in the exit space of the A1 tile. Woo! Yep, powers of observation. Wow, and the masked man just comes with me as a free action. When the dream monger is on the exit space in the A1 tile S200. We made it. We achieved the goal. The dream monger was thankful to us. He hosted us for several days, in his apartment on the 107th floor of the electric tower, grateful for the rescue. Thanks to him, we got to know places that are worth visiting, and even when not hungry, taste the unique cuisine. Everything, of course, was at his expense. He also taught us how to drive a coal-operated flying barrel. At least that's what it looked like at first glance. The scratch in the fender will be a souvenir to us. But all of this was insignificant. The only important thing was that the dreammonger appeared to be someone who knows what's going on. He looked out the window, he spoke to our reflections. You're not from here, but you probably already know that. You're also not the first ones who came from beyond. There were 4 of them. People like you. It was so long ago. My mind can't dig so deep into my vast memory. They were looking for something, and they failed miserably. There was something about this in the newspapers. These articles should still be in the Great Library. They achieved one thing, though. They uncovered the memories during their struggles. How? Until you learn some more, your chances are miserable. But, did you hear about the basements in Pandemonium? Victory! Each dreamer gains 1 ether. Each dreamer cures 2 wounds or unseals 2 cards. I'm going to go ahead and cure the 2 wounds just for argument's sake. I'm not going to continue the playthrough, by the way. I'm probably just going to trigger an awakening, which I'll show you that in a second. But I'll just kind of run through what I would do if I was going to continue. Add tile 2, 37E, the Dreammonger, to the Slumber deck. Okay, this is turn 2, card 2, 37E. The Dreammonger for Contact 6, I'm going to be able to buy new influence cards whenever I hit this guy out of the Slumber deck. Very nice. Gain Tile W, Pandemonium Dreamworld map card. That is the last card in this pile over here. Yeah, we're going to add that to the Dreamscape right away. Gain Tile 239M, Basements Are Calling Dreamgate tile. So in case you didn't remember, a Dreamgate tile is a new quest. You can enter it through Pandemonium with 2 keys. And you can go ahead and check that quest out. So I fulfilled this quest, and I believe I could still enter the one in the Metropolis. So 2 quests. The game is giving me options. And you have to cooperate, help each other in order to survive. I'll be honest, the world does not like you yet, and it senses you perfectly. Going to gain card K, which is a wisdom card. Help. If there's one or more dreamer playing, they may help each other. Whenever a dreamer performs an action and spends at least 1 intent, one other dreamer, only one in any range, may support this action by discarding an influence card. Cooperative actions. All right, sweet. I did not get this card, but so I don't know if I'll have a chance at it later, or maybe not, because Adventure 2. Oh, well. Add card J to the Flaws deck. It says card J, and I do get to see what it says. Discard 1 ether to remove this card or resolve it immediately. Remove the card. That's nice. Drinking items. Discard 1 active item or discard all cards in your hand. But, oh, get out of here. Do not like that one. Restore 3 shopping cards. The shopping cards, when you land in a shopping space, allow you to buy stuff. Change the season to Ordinary Days. It was already Ordinary Days. Discard the current Dreamscape, which is the whole adventure that I was on. Remove from the game all cards and tiles from this dream. Just get it out. As well as the Dreamgate tile of this dream. Reveal 2 starting Slumber map tiles, the same ones that I had before. You are back on the Dreamworld map. All right, so that is going to do it for this playthrough of Etherfields. I really hope that you enjoyed that. I'm not going to continue, not because of lack of interest. I am interested in this game. This is really fun. You could see the points of grind, but you can also see that the game gives you resources and cards to kind of get around that grind, and you can feel clever. I got that item that lets me have 3 keys, which is amazing. There's a grind solver right there. So yeah, I mean, this is definitely something that I'm going to pursue on my own, but not immediately. I have a lot in the queue. So I hope you enjoyed that playthrough. Please like this video, subscribe to the One Stop Co-op Shop, and all of that good stuff. So until next time, this is Jason reminding you, if you can change your mind, you can change the world. So until next time, later everybody.